Okay, now, so for this question, I would like you to solve for x by using the method of completing the square. Now, so if you remember about completing the square, you would need to add a number here. So how do we figure out what number to add? We say we always will look at the middle term, and then we will divide the middle term by 2, and then we square it. Now, because it is an equation, whatever you do on the left, you must do the same on the right-hand side. Okay? So again, when we say completing the square, make sure you learn the name. Completing the square. What are we completing? Okay, the perfect square. So you have to have an image in your head and say, what kind of square are we expecting? We are expecting this kind of square. That's why we call it completing the square. And what's inside the parentheses? X minus 3. Now, for those who are still a bit puzzled by the whole process, first, I would like you to see that this and this, they are equal. If you don't believe it, do the FOIL of x minus 3 squared. Show it to yourself. We have done this numerous times. The reason that it allows us to write this is because they are equal. And by doing so, we go from 2 copies of x to a single copy of x. And that allows us to solve this problem a lot easier and smoother. Now, on the right-hand side, we have 13 plus 9, which gives us 22. So, to solve for x, you need to get rid of the square and also the minus 3. So first, we will get rid of the square by using square root. And the special thing you need to remind yourself about this square root is that on the number side, it must be a plus or minus. Okay, so the square root and the square, they would cancel each other out. So on the left-hand side, you are left with x minus 3. On the right-hand side, it's just plus or minus square root of 22. Questions at this point? And then one last step, we need to get x by itself. Therefore, add the 3 over. Okay, we add 3 on both sides so that the minus 3 is gone. So our final answer is 3 plus or minus root 22. Okay, so that's what we mean by solving this quadratic equation, solving for x through completing the square. Okay, good. Again, for me, when I was a student, I had a tough time. I think the toughest time that I had was that how can I make sense that these two are the same? And I never really realized that they are the same until the point that I actually do the FOIL for this one. And then knowing the purpose, when we say a completing square, our purpose is to create x plus or minus a number square. Okay, that's our purpose. And that's the reason why we have to add a constant at the end of it. Okay, so that we can create a perfect square. Okay.